How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to some more A Link to the Past. In the previous video, we went through the Dark Palace and got ourselves a fancy new hammer, as well as another heart container. In today's video, we're going to be collecting a bunch of stuff throughout the overworld, well, the Dark Overworld, I should say. Such as a new medallion, the magic meter upgrade, and my new cape, which I never realized you could get this early in the game. I always thought it was like something like real late game you can get, but turns out no, you can get this thing pretty darn quick, so we're going to be doing that this video, because it'll probably come in handy, as well as a bunch of the medallions, which I think I mentioned this in a previous video, but I never really used them too much in my other playthroughs, just because I was like conserving all my stuff. Like, I don't like when I have items that aren't full, like full capacity, so I always try to conserve like everything, which probably isn't a good idea, because then you're never using any of this stuff. But, you know, this playthrough, I plan on changing that and just like actually making use of some of the things the game gives me, because some of those medallions would probably be really useful in some of the dungeon rooms. Like, I forget what the dungeon's called, whatever it is, it's where you get the blue mail, and there's this room there that has like these 4, 5 or 6 penguin thingies in there, and I have a feeling that one of the medallions, I think it freezes them, so it makes them a lot easier to defeat, which I think I already have that medallion, but kind of makes you wonder, why didn't I use those very often? I mean, I never really know where the whole conserving item things started. Alright, so now that we have the hammer, we can actually push down these little, I don't know if they're supposed to be gravestones or something. I don't really know. But it makes for a shortcut back here. And to Link's house, which I don't think we could access beforehand. Maybe we could, but I don't think it's a save point in the Dark World. I'm pretty sure you can go to the pyramid and wherever you're currently at. So, it's a nice little way to backtrack to Link's house. I don't know that any traversals really like change too much between Light World and Dark World. Like, I don't know if going through somewhere in the Dark World to get to the Light World would be faster or anything. But it's still always nice that we unlocked more ways of getting around the Dark World, because you're very limited at the start. It's kind of like after, I want to say Dungeon 3 in the Dark World, that you can actually like start getting around a bit more, which is nice. I don't know if I'm going to do Dungeon 3 or 4 first. I think that you need the Dungeon 3 item to get into Dungeon 4, so I mean, I could go halfway, but then I guess that would kind of mess up the flow of things. So I'll probably just do it in the natural order. Because I think we can get a sword upgrade after the 3rd dungeon, so that is going to be very, very useful. Because Link's sword is kind of not very good at this point. A lot of the enemies just really tank the hits, and it's kind of a pain in the butt, so once we're getting that sword upgrade, I don't know how much extra damage it deals. I know they nerfed it in Link Between Worlds, like how big the damage increase is between the swords. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm pretty sure it's significant between the Master Sword level 2 and level 3 though, so it's worth it. And we're getting pretty close to the max rupee limit, which is 999, so we're going to want to deposit all those rupees into the fairy, who can increase your bombs and arrow capacity. So if you want to do that now, you could. Otherwise, I do it, I think, like midway through the video, and then I get our bombs and arrow capacity up to 40, I believe. Nice even number. So, not really like you need too many of each item. Like, I don't think there's any point in going that high. I mean, I'm going to be going for the max just for 100% purposes, but I don't think there's a point to going that high up. And I stopped there because I noticed that dude's mouth was moving, and I never noticed the trees moving before, so little interesting thing for you to discover. I really do like this next dungeon's item. It's the hookshot. I don't know if it's called the hookshot in this game. I think it's called the hookshot. Maybe it's called the long shot, claw shot, switch shot. I don't know. Something shot. Either way, it's a excuse me, really cool item. been a staple in the Zelda series since this point. Or should I say the original Link to the Past. I think my favorite variant of it is probably from Twilight Princess Skyward Sword. Although I feel like you didn't really use it too often in Skyward Sword, but like with the double claw shot, but maybe you did. I don't really remember. I don't know, it's cool to see how many times they've been able to modify it and just make it its own thing. I think the switch shot's probably pretty underrated. I mean, I don't hear too much about it. I know a lot of people like the claw shots though, and for good reason, because like, it makes you Spider Link. So, this guy here is gonna help us unlock our sort of fast travel way through the light world. And there's only so many portals to get to the dark world, so I guess it kind of helps out with fast travel, getting to the dark world as well, but you just really gotta know where the portals are. And with the shovel, we can actually access the ocarina, which we want to back up here, because if you teleport while you're close to him, he's gonna do this little cutscene here. And you get stuck while doing so, so if he does that while the portal's underneath you, you're just going to end up teleporting back to the Dark World, which we don't want that, so you can start digging, and I think the ocarina is in a set location of being in this spot every time. Not sure though, but I always remember finding it in that spot, so maybe it is set. Either way, once you're done with that, we're going to want to go back to the Dark World and then play it for him. And then he's going to disappear. I don't know what he's supposed to be though. It looks like a tree. So yeah, he turned into a full-on tree now. Don't worry, we're actually gonna be able to fix him. Never, until we beat the end of the game. Then he'll be returned to normal. But until then, he's kind of stuck as a tree, which it's fine. You know, he's probably not aware of anything. There's actually one thing that I forget here. I do get later on in the video. What you want to do, now that we have the ocarina, is play your ocarina towards the little bird windmill thingy in Kakariko Village, because that's going to give you access to the fast travel bird. So make sure you do that. Don't forget it like I do, because it's going to make traversal a little bit easier. But I don't know there's really anywhere that we need to traverse to very quickly at the moment, so you can wait until I get it, if you'd like. Next up on the agenda is going to be getting the magic meter increase. Fall down that hole there. Make sure you have magic powder. If you don't have any magic, make sure you get some. And then you sprinkle the powder on this little thingy here. And we're going to meet this little bat creature. And he's actually going to, I think it's like double magic? I think he describes it right here. Okay, so it drops by 1/2, so I guess that's kind of like... I don't know. Math was never my strong suit. Anyways, now that we have more magic powder, we can use more magic, which is always nice. And the magic, or not the magic bird, well, I guess it's a magic bird. The bird that I was referring to is just over in the middle of Kakariko Village. Or upper middle, I should say. And I never understood what the point of this little section is. Like, why you need the hammer to hit those two bushes, because there's nothing there. And that fairy doesn't come back as far as I know, because I'm pretty sure I tried again. Right now, maybe? Yeah, and the fairy doesn't come back, so I don't know what the point is of this little section. Maybe it was meant to hide something originally? I don't know. And then we got a few more things to do over on this side of town. we're actually going to want to go back to the Dark World. So we're going to head through the Lost Woods, because there's a portal over here that you can only get to by going through a certain way in the Lost Woods at the moment. Once we beat the 3rd dungeon in the Dark World, we're going to be able to get back here fast. But until then, we're kind of stuck going all the way around, which is alright, because I guess we get to enjoy the view. Nice shadows. I really like the shadows in this area. I feel like they didn't do this too much in the older Zelda games. Like, as far as I know, this is one of the only areas in the 2D games that has this sort of shadow look. I don't know if there was any in Minish Cap. Maybe there was. Yeah, I think there was some in Minish Cap. But, I don't know. Something about this area just feels special. I'm not sure how they did it, though, either. Like, if it's just underneath the ground, like the ground's sort of see-through? I don't know how they did it. But it looks really cool. Probably some early developer tricks. And it's not this exit, although I did go this way. I just didn't know which way to go. So it's not this way, but it's the other way. Which I don't know why I went all the way around looking back at this, because I could have just went up through this way. So you don't need to go up and around like I did. You could have just went up through this way, which I'm only realizing now. I didn't realize this when I was filming, but I do now, so it's a thought that counts, I guess. So here's our little Dark World portal. And with this, we can go back to the Dark World. Now we're in the dark version of Kakariko. So there's some kind of tedious minigames coming up, mainly because they're luck-based, which luck-based minigames just are always rough. So I jammed out here for a little bit, as you can see. The way this minigame works is you can pick 2 treasure chests, and there's going to be a piece of heart in one of them. I actually got extremely lucky here, and I got it in my first treasure chest, like without any save states, without any rewinding. I did it first try, and that has never happened to me before in this game. Granted, I've never gotten this piece of heart that many times, but still, it's something, ain't it, to be able to get it first try. But yeah, I was just jamming out for a bit, playing with a hammer, and then there we go. So it's not very expensive, and you get 2 tries. I'm pretty sure some bigger rewards you can earn are like 300 rupees or so. I'm pretty sure the 100 rupee one is in here. Yeah, there's the 100. So our rupees are just about full. So at this point, there's a few treasure chests in Kakariko that contain a lot of rupees. We're not going to be going for any of them because there's no point to. It's just gonna end up nowhere. So we're gonna wait for now. Probably until we do, hold on. I think level 3 is the one where you get the, power level upgrade. Is it not? Maybe it's level 4. I don't know, it's one of the 2. I can't for the life of me remember what the other one is then. Maybe it's the cane that summons like little blocks? I forget, but either way, we're going to be getting a sword upgrade soon. Within the next 3 videos, so I guess consider how soon you want to consider that. And whenever a skull glows like that, or if one of the little rocks that looks like a magic 8-ball glows, you can slash them with your sword, and they're going to provide rupees for you. So, if you ever see them and you want to get rich, it might not be the fastest way to do it, but it's a way to do it. And then our next stop is going to be right here, because we're going to get the magic cape. Toss all of these little pots out of the way. Oh no, this is the heart container cave, not shave. This is the heart container cave. So we have 12 heart containers now, which is nice. And then we're gonna drop down here, cut the bush, and then we have to transport back. I think this is the reason why I thought you get the cape later, because there's the 2 rocks up in front, and then the rocks all around that you can't lift up unless you have the power glove upgrade. And I think that's why I always was confused, and part of me didn't realize you could use the Pegasus boots just standing here all the time, which I don't know why I didn't do that at first here. Either way, use your Pegasus boots. It's gonna knock this tombstone. And we can walk downstairs. And we are going to get ourselves the magic cape. And there's actually one more little magic-y thing we're going to be getting in this video. This next one I don't really know its uses. Like, it's sort of an item you get just to have sort of thing. Like, granted, that's kind of what like a lot of items in this game are, but this one in particular, I can't really think of any good uses for it. I mean, I'm sure there's some, but from what I understand, it's just like a little protective barrier around Link. I think it attacks enemies, so I don't really know. I guess if you're like stuck inside of a boss and you want to do some extra damage, I guess then that would be like one way to use it. But for the most part, I can't really think of any good time to use the item. You'll see in just a bit what I'm talking about. And a quick little thing to note, there's actually one more fast travel location that we get up on Death Mountain, but I believe that's only accessible once we reach that dungeon. It's a Turtle Rock stop. And it was included only in the Game Boy Advance version, which is really nice, but I don't know why they didn't do that originally. I guess they kind of realized their error, and then were like, we better add this, so it's good they did. In this cave here, it's a nice little spot to get some fairies, as well as another piece of heart, which we're not going to be going up to 13 in this video, 13 heart containers, but, you know, every heart piece counts. So, if you're like me and not particularly good at this game, although 12 hearts may seem like a lot, you gotta remember that all the Dark World enemies do a crap ton of damage to you. And the blue mail is gonna be our best friend, although we're not getting it until the 5th dungeon. It's still gonna be our best friend. Although I might try and do dungeons out of order. We'll see. Probably not, because I kinda want to do them in order. And the sword upgrade that we get pretty quick ish is going to be really helpful, so we'll just see how things go. See what floats my boat. Dungeon 5 is going to be over there on the right. I think that's what I was looking at here in this video. That's where we get the blue mail. And you may remember that is the little lake. I think that's Lake Hylia. That's where we deposit our rupees to get the bombs and arrow upgrades, so we can't do anything there at the moment because we don't have the power glove upgrade. But I think that's the minimum that you need to enter the dungeon. I don't know if you need any more items from other dungeons, although I think you get the power glove in level 4, so it is a bit late, but you know, it's alright, because the heart containers and the sword are gonna make up for things. And this is what I should have done earlier in the video, getting the fast travel with our nice little duck buddy that we're going to meet in just a second. At least I think it's a duck. It looks like a duck. See, doesn't that look like a duck? I always thought it looked like a duck. And it looks like it has shoes on. But I don't really know what it's supposed to be. So, we have 8 locations right now. Once we get up to Death Mountain, there's going to be 9. And one thing I'm just thinking is weird now. There's no, like, little warp spot for Lost Woods, which which seems really strange. Granted, there's not too much there, but still, seems a little weird. So that's the rock that I just slashed at. And then I believe I do a little cut here, because this is where I spend all my rupees to get the capacities upgraded. I think it's right here? Yeah. So as you can tell, we got the capacities upgraded. I didn't feel like going for any more, just because my rupees are kind of in a good spot, because I wanted to buy this potion here. Now, if you want to upgrade all your bombs, capacities, and air capacity, you can go back to Kakariko Village in the Dark World, and there's going to be a few chests in that area that have a lot of rupees. So, if you really want to upgrade everything to max, you could grind some rupees just by slashing bushes all over, do it that way. But for the moment, we are more than prepared with everything. Like, I don't think there's ever a point where I'm going to be using more than, I'm saying like a lot, more than 10 bombs a dungeon. Or 5 arrows a dungeon. It doesn't seem to happen in this game. In fact, I feel like they're always generous with bombs and arrow counts. Because I can't think of any time where I really go about using all 50 arrows or all 40 bombs. Even in Ocarina of Time. Now, if you're speedrunning, then you can run low on some of that stuff, but for the most part, playing casually, I never find myself in any situation where I would need 50 arrows or 40 bombs. Just, it doesn't happen, you know? So I wonder why they're so generous. Maybe it's just something more to add to the game? I don't know. If anyone in the comments watches this far in the video, let me know what you think. Like, why do they give us such a generous amount of arrows and bombs? Because I've always found it a bit strange. I don't know if we need to enter that arrow shop for anything, or the arrow minigame place for anything. I don't think there's any heart piece tied to it. There might be, but I'm pretty sure there's not, because I don't remember it. And this is another situation where I got extremely lucky. So, of course, there's going to be a heart container, or heart piece of heart for this minigame, and it involves having the shovel. Another thing about this game, I believe in One to the Past, the original version, you couldn't keep the shovel. In this game you can, which is nice. And I did not do save states or anything. I did not rewind or anything. I still got this piece of heart on my first try, which it must be for the Let's Play. I think there's a term for that Let's Players use when they get something on like the first try that normally takes like 100 tries, but... And I didn't do too bad with the rupees either, which was nice. I don't think I made back my money, but I got the piece of heart, I got a decent amount of rupees too, and it was my last dig, so I'm pretty happy about that. And we never have to touch this minigame again, which is very fortunate. So, I think we're done with the crappy minigames for this game. At least I think we are. Head back to the Light World, and then I believe this is where we're going to make our way to the next dungeon, which I think is the Swamp Palace. Or no, this is where we get the cane. I don't remember what it's called though. I want to say this is one of the last times we come up here while in our green tunic. But maybe there is one more thing that we get here after we get the hook shot. But I'm pretty sure we're done in Death Mountain for the time being. Because looking at the hearts, what do we have? So we have 1, 2, 3. Like, I think we have 6 heart containers left from dungeons. So there's only, what, 5 more pieces of heart? I think I'm at 3. So we're doing really well. I think one of those last pieces of hearts is only obtained like late game. So we're pretty good for the time being. And I don't think there's really any difficulty gap that happens anytime soon. I think it just kind of stays where it's at until you get the blue mail and the sword upgrade, so we're pretty good. So for this, you just use your magic cape, and then we're going to walk all the way over. Now, I am pretty sure you can do this without the magic cape. If you have a decent amount of hearts, although I don't know if you can lift the block while taking damage. You might be able to, but maybe you can only walk so far, because I'm pretty sure if you have fairies or potions or something, you can get far. But there's the cane, and if you want to leave this area, just save and quit, because it's going to be faster. Which I did unsuccessfully here. There we go. So, now it's time to start making our way to the next dungeon. Personally, I find this dungeon easier than the Dark Palace. I think it's just laid out a bit better. And a bit more beginner-friendly for the Dark World people. One thing to know, though, is that you are going to be getting one of the coolest items in the game, which is the hookshot. I know I was having a whole debacle earlier in the video about what it's called. I am 99% certain it's called the hookshot in this game. So we're going to be getting that. And there's one thing that you actually have to do in the Light World if you want to progress into the Dark World, which I don't really understand how it works. I think it's just because there's some sort of connection, maybe, between the Light and the Dark World. But I've never understood how that works fully. I was wrong again. We do have one more thing to get in the Dark World. The last medallion, which I completely forgot about. I guess it's so unmemorable that I forgot. And I actually went the wrong way here, too. But the more I play this game, the more I really am interested in redoing my Link Between Worlds playthrough, because I don't think that one was 100%, and gosh, it was something else. For that one, I felt like I was super unmotivated, like in everything, which I don't understand, because that's my favorite, well, not my favorite, probably in my top 3 favorite Zelda games next to Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess, which I don't understand why. I don't know, it just feels like my most lazy Let's Play I've done on the channel. I mean, there's been some doozies, but that one in particular just feels horrible. So, I'm thinking that might be what I do after I went to the past, although I think I pulled it once and Phantom Hourglass was supposed to be next instead of Link to the Past, but we'll see what happens. And that portal was kind of in a bad spot, so I couldn't teleport back. What you want to do now is just teleport back to the Dark World from the one that we've been using throughout the video. Try not to take damage as much as I just did there. And make sure you're stocked up on potions, fairies, whatever you want to use. Like I said, it's not terribly difficult of a dungeon, in my opinion. I found it easier than the Dark Palace, but you know, things are different for everyone. So, just going cautiously. And you don't need to do this portal right now, because, like I said, we do have one more thing to do in the Light World next video to get the dungeon actually, like, working, flowing. But I think that is a good spot to end the video then. This is the next dungeon, and I think I go inside just to show it off quick. You can't actually do anything yet, so gotta do something in the Light World, but that is going to do it for this video. I want to thank you guys all for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you.